Morning, y'all. It is 7:05 in the morning, Monday. Super tired, just woke up. I'm on my way to Adrian's house because today we're installing the coilovers on the Skyline, on the 4-door Skyline. So let's go ahead and get the day started. Alright guys, we just made it to Adrian's house. We're gonna start the installation of the coilovers. We're actually gonna do this installation step by step so you guys can learn and know, if you have a Skyline, how to change your coilovers. What are the name of the coilovers?
Fortunato.
So the coilovers are Fortunato. It took about 3 weeks to get here, but we're gonna start with the installation. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so the first thing we're doing is the rear, and in order for you to get to the bolts in the back, you have to remove these panels. Obviously these are in mint condition. This car is in pretty mint condition, but we're removing these panels here. Some people cut holes in the back over there. We're definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna preserve everything here and just get to the panels. These are the panels on this side. And I guess we're gonna start either by the rear or the front, but at least we're starting with this side now. So, all right, so the panels are actually removed. This is where you get to the bolts. It's very easy to get there. There's no reason really to cut that. And look, you can see the reservoir here for the super high cast and all the lines and all that stuff, which obviously that's gonna go the day that gets removed, or when we remove that. We're just going
what the hell? Look at this one. This one comes off no problem.
Yeah, no, the clips are just old and brittle. But yeah.
Actually, don't look. This so this little strap or whatever is the Oem Bracket.
Oh wow.
So it came with some sort of you know tie down type of bracket for whatever.
Yeah, if anybody knows what that's used for, you can definitely leave a comment. So the tie down and the other part is here. It's OEM. It's funny. It's Nissan. Must be for something, for you to tie something down there.
Yeah.
Probably some drift wheels or something. A little drift wheel. Alright, so the car is all jacked up. 4 jack stands. Safety first, guys, always. And we're gonna start. I believe we're gonna start with the rear now, but yeah, all jacked up, ready to go. We're actually using my old air compressed gun, or my old air gun. It's from like the 80s. That my uncle gifted to me, and I haven't used it for maybe like 2 years, but it's actually working perfect. Black & Decker, shout out to you guys. Working amazing. But yeah, it's jacked up. Jack stands ready to go. Actually, let me show you guys, because Adrian did the R32 front bumper with the R32 lip. I'll show you guys later once we lowered it and we pull it out on the street. So the tire's already out. So you got to remove the 2 bolts up here, and then you remove this bottom one right here. Is the easiest installed. And then you just bring it down, and then you pull it back out. It's a fender right here, so make sure you don't hit that. Yeah, this is how it looks in there. It's just super high all the way at the end. But yeah, let's go ahead and install that.
All right, guys. So another question that people might have. So this install is on a 4-door GTS4. It's all-wheel drive. So if you have the all-wheel drive model, the differentiation between the GTS-T and the GTS4 is that the rear shock mount is fork style, so kind of like a Z32 or a GTR. So when you buy coilovers, you need the GTR coilovers. The GTS-T coilovers, as I'll show you later, have the kind of eye bolt style bottom mount, just like in S13, S14, or the GTS-T, obviously. So that's one of the big questions that a lot of people have, and I had to do some research before getting them, okay? And obviously some 2-door models, which are GTS4, also have the fork style rear mount, okay? Which we'll go over once we're looking at the actual coils. Alright guys, so to take the bottom fork mount off, you just kind of have to use a little pry bar. This is all I got right here, unfortunately, so but it'll get the job done. Just kind of wedge it in there, and then once it pops off, keep in mind that it could slide off from the top, and all you want to do is come through the camber arm, and just keep in mind that you don't want to damage any of the paint, so you have to kind of play with the angle a bit and find the right way, and voila, rear strut is off.
So for the front, all you gotta do is take this one off. This is the spindle right here, as you can see it. You take this one off, and then you go up top and you take those 2 up there, which they go right here on the engine bay, and the other two on the other side of the engine bay. That way, if you guys haven't seen it, this is the new ARC intake that Adrian put on. The engine is just really clean, man. But yeah, that came out really nice. I really like it. This is like an original piece to like never remove. It's super nice. So we just removed the top ones here, these two. They're actually a 14mm. We want to tell you guys detail by detail like that, you know what nuts and what sizes they are. So it's a 14mm in the top, 17 in the back, and a 12 in the top, in the rear.
Down here, it is a 90mm nut. Unfortunately, you cannot get the gun in here just because of space, unless you have some other, you know, like a ratcheting type gun. So what I did is just got a deep 90mm socket, wrench, and just, you know, if you might need a pry bar if anything, but relatively easy. And this is actually, I would say, probably easier than the rear because you don't have to worry about, you know, trying to fit it through the camber plate. You just unloosen, bring it down, and that's it. Like, it's really quick. And I still don't know what type of coilover, what type of struts these are. So this is the Fortunato 500 series coilover for the GTS4, which also fits the GTR model. And like I mentioned before, mentioned earlier, the GTS4 and the GTR have the fork style mount in the rear, which we described in the uninstallation of the old shocks. The GTS-T has the eye bolt style, which will look in the front, which that's the biggest differentiation between the GTS-T and the GTR/GTS4, which a lot of people ask about. And I had to do a little bit of research before I bought them, because actually a lot of people gave me wrong information. So this is truth and fact. I bought the right pair. So if you guys have any questions, just hit up Javi in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to, you know, answer any questions that I might know.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead with the installation.
All right. So to get it in, you're just gonna slide it into the top. Obviously, keeping in mind that you might hit the over fender. The fender, and then just carefully place it over the fork. And obviously, there's gonna be a great distance. So what you might want to do is that you might want to screw the top and then jack up until you can place the bolt. So you're just going to get a jack up under here, which we're going to show you now, okay? So as I said before, you're going to get a jack under this mounting point, and you're just going to jack up just until you get enough to get it to where you need to go, okay? You know, sometimes it might need a little bit of wiggle. Javier's going to go ahead and slide the bolt in, and you know, you might need to jack up a little bit more, but it's relatively straightforward. And that's pretty much it. And Fortune Auto sent me a new nut for the other side. I mean, you know, you can use the old one, new one. The old one has stood the test of time, so that decision is up to you. I am gonna go with the old one, to be honest with you. But that's pretty much it.
All right, so Adrian's doing the final bolts up top for this part of the rear. Just wanted to give you guys a quick look on how it looks once it's on. Looks very good. Back now.
So here we have the front coilover from Fortunato 500. Comes with the spacer, which, if you're gonna see, it goes into the, you know, guide bolt, eye bolt, whatever you call this type of stud. It goes in here first, just so that the bottom bracket of the coilover is not completely wedged and it gives it an odd angle. It also comes with like this little black clamp, which I wasn't sure what that was for. I called Fortunato, and they use it primarily for people who want to do, you know, some sort of brake line, and they zip tie stuff to that. But obviously this is just a regular street application, so nothing fancy like that. I do recommend putting the bottom in first to the bolt, and then you jack up, because if you put the top in first, which I discovered, when you go to jack up, it's just really hard to get the stud through the hole, and then I didn't want to have to use a pry bar or anything like that on the coilover, obviously. So, you know, best bet is to put it in first, okay?
Oh man, it's super hot in Miami. Well, coilovers are installed. As you can see, the back is actually lower than it is on jack stand, so we'll see how low it goes when it gets on the floor. We still have to adjust the back. Got to put the caps back on the wheels. But yeah, man, that's it. right, guys, so we're actually done.
That's a big difference with the
filter.
Like no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't pull back.
You don't feel the tuck as much.
All right, guys, we're actually done. Installation is over. We're on the way to go have lunch. If you guys enjoy this video, if you guys enjoy the step-by-step installation, do let me know in the comment below. Remember to subscribe. It goes a long way. And yeah, we're just pretty much just testing out the car and rolling out the videos for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know and you get notified whenever I post a video. See you in the next one.